Everyone thinks the Goal Zero Yeti 1000 core is the ultimate do-everything backup power box. But here is the thing, the spec that looks fine on paper can trip you up in real life because capacity is only half the story. The hidden bottlenecks are recharge speed, inverter sealing, and battery chemistry. When I saw the hype, I was skeptical. So I spent 3 weeks using the 1000 core during a storm outage simulation, a weekend camping trip, and a garage stress test. What I found will probably save you money, or at least set your expectations before you hit buy. And yes, it powered my fridge, but not the way most people think. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you are already leaning toward the Yeti 1000 core and want the best current price, I dropped a link below. Stick around, though, a couple of real-world tests might change which bundle or even which brand you pick. Setup: I started looking for a mid-size power station after last fall's storm knocked out my neighborhood for 10 hours. I needed something quiet that could keep a full-size refrigerator cold, run the Wi-Fi and a couple of lights, maybe a CPAP in a pinch, and still be manageable in the car for weekend camping. My last no-name unit claimed 1000 watts but choked on a simple compressor surge and died at 40%. So I came into the Yeti core with a healthy dose of skepticism. Goal Zero's reputation is great, but there is also that brand tax rumor. Would the 1000 core actually justify it, or would it just be a well-built box with average guts? That was the question. Confrontation and testing. First, the outage simulation. I plugged in an 18 cubic foot fridge that idles around 110 to 180 watts with compressor spikes. The Yeti 1000 core's inverter is rated around 1200 W continuous with a higher surge window, and it handled the compressor start cleanly, even when the battery was under 30%. Voltage stayed stable and the waveform looked clean on my meter. In total, from about 96% down to 10%, I got roughly 7 to 8 hours of stop-and-go fridge runtime plus a small LED lamp and the modem. Accounting for inverter loss, that feels right for a roughly 1 kWh pack. But here is where it gets interesting. Once I added a 150 W space heater to take the chill off the room, the fan noise ramped up and the state of charge started dropping fast. No surprise, but it highlights the ceiling. This is not a whole home solution, it is a targeted appliance saver. Second, the camping weekend. Real-world loads: a 12V compressor cooler averaging about 45 W, charging 2 phones and a mirrorless camera, and a laptop pull around 60 W while I offloaded footage. Daytime, I fed the Yeti with a 200 W folding solar panel. In perfect noon sun, I saw around 120 to 150 W input. In mixed clouds, more like 70 to 90 W. From 40% up to about 90% took the better part of a sunny afternoon. Overnight, with the cooler and small lights, I dropped roughly 35 to 40%. It worked, but you need to manage expectations. Solar input is weather dependent, and the Yeti is not the fastest charging box in this class via solar or wall. Third, high load sanity checks. On low, a 1000 W rated space heater drew around 800 to 900 W and ran without drama, fans fully audible. In 30 minutes, it burned roughly 30% of the battery. My 1500 W kettle, hard nope, that load tripped the inverter immediately. A small microwave labeled 700 W cooking power pulled close to the ceiling and did 2 90-second cycles, but I would not rely on it for full meals. Bottom line, 1200 W continuous sounds generous, but in practice you should plan for sub 1000 W continuous if you want headroom. Fourth, recharge and usability. The included wall charger takes the unit from near empty to full in the ballpark of overnight, think 8 to 9 hours for most households. In the car at 12V, it is a slow top-up, not a rapid refill. The display is simple and readable, showing watts in and out and percent remaining, but percent estimates bounce a bit at very low loads. No app control here, and that is either a plus or a minus depending on your taste. I like fewer things to connect when the power is out, but remote monitoring would be nice for van setups. On the upside, the 12V carport is regulated, which is a win for CPAP users and portable fridges. Build quality is classic Goal Zero: sturdy handle, rubberized corners, and a lid compartment for cables. Discovery and revelation. The most surprising thing I found was how calmly the Yeti 1000 core handles surge events when the battery is low. Many competitors puff their chest on continuous wattage but get flaky when a compressor or pump kicks on at 20 to 30% state of charge. The core stayed composed. That predictability matters when you are guarding a fridge full of food. I also appreciated the clean sign output. My audio interface and laptop charger never squealed or glitched, but let's be real about the trade-offs. The battery chemistry is NMC, not LFP. Translation: you are looking at hundreds of good cycles, not thousands. If you are a daily cycling vanlifer or you want to hammer this thing every weekend, there are better long-term value picks. Also, the inverter ceiling is fine for essentials but not generous for kitchen appliances. And while the brand ecosystem is solid, the recharge speed lags behind fast-charging competitors. Compared to alternatives, the EcoFlow Delta 2 gives you LFP longevity and much faster AC charging with a higher inverter ceiling at a similar capacity. The Jackery 1000 class units are light and simple, with newer Plus models moving to LFP as well, though their DC output options vary. Where the Yeti 1000 core wins is build, regulated 12V behavior, predictable surge handling, and a reassuring, no-nonsense experience in emergencies. Now that you know the real strengths and limits, here is the move. If the Yeti 1000 core fits your use case, grab it when it is bundled with a panel or marked down. Those deals come and go fast. I put the best current price and any active bundles in the description so you can snag value without overpaying. Verdict: if your priority is reliable, clean power for a fridge, networking gear, lights and camera, or laptop charging, especially for occasional outages and camping, the Yeti 1000 core is a safe, predictable choice. If you need daily cycling, super fast recharging, or want to run kitchen-grade appliances, look at an LFP alternative with a higher inverter. Homeowners and weekend campers, approved. Vanlifers and tool junkies, probably not. Bottom line, this is not the flashiest box of electrons, but when the lights go out, it keeps it cool and your food cold.